The coating on the bottom here too. This is nice. All right. Where are you buying Milky Yellows? Honestly, Kinetic Labs has been my plug for that. But if I have to buy like locally, probably R&DK. I don't even know. Like there's so many vendors with Milky Yellows that it just comes down to who has them in stock for Canada. Please Be Red. I don't remember what color. It's been so long since I discussed this with them. Okay, so just some little... This has been so hyped up, by the way. This is the Vertex Intro S100. This has been insanely hyped up. It is a $220 to start. There's additions you can do. I guess, you know what? Can we look at all the colors on their website? Yes. Okay, let me actually share my screen. It comes in a bunch of different colors here. We can go through some of them. So it'll come in... Can I just use my arrow keys? Yeah, okay, so we can do... Okay, here. Blank, which is, I assume, silver. Space, which is like a darker silver. Wheat, which is... Actually, wheat's really nice. Symbiotic, which is like a light purple, which is... it's all right. Monster, which is green. Monster is an interesting color. Fuji, pink. Very pastel pink. Very Perry, probably my least favorite color here, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't like this particular shade of purple personally. Chinese Red, which is insane. This is such a good color. Elquan and a few others going crazy right now. Starry, which I think is the special coating. I don't really know. I have to take a look up close. Then we have Cream, which is really cool. Sunflower, did I miss one? Rock. Rock's really nice too, I gotta admit. I think Rock would be my second favorite choice here. It's a nice, like, very neutral gray. Gateway. Actually, I take it back. This is my least favorite color. Half-Life, which I thought was a really cool color scheme to go with too. It does have a soldered default tri-mode PCB, which is fantastic, or you can spend an extra $10 and get a hot swap tri-mode. Default plates, you can just pick one. CF, I don't know why CF is $10 more. Anyways, yeah, but CF is $10 more, and then you can do some add-ons over here. It starts tomorrow, ends on the 28th. All right, let's see. How can I... Is this already open? Is there tape on this? All right, we got Half-Life. You know what? This is really neat. Let's open this thing up. I am here for this. Look at that front height, by the way. What's the typing angle on this? I don't remember. I literally read it before stream, but now I have to triple check. Look at that front height. In person, this thing looks crazy low. It is... Is it 10? I think it's 10, right? Hold on. Where is it on this? Oh, here, yeah. 10 degrees for a typing angle here.
You can see Alex's face light up when he realized it was orange.
I know, you know what? The orange is cool and perfect. Or in person, rather. The coating on the bottom here, too. This is nice. Look at the coating on that. I don't know if you guys can see some of the sparkles. I'm going to try to make it apparent. It has like a fun grit to it. And it has a bit of a textured feel, like more so than the orange part. Oh, even that looks good. Like the brushed badge looks pretty nice too. You know, I feel like this is one of those boards that just looks even better when you look at it in person. Okay, I have one visual complaint, which is, I mean, I find like this is very common. I feel like they didn't need to put intro and then intro and then intro on 3 different parts of the keyboard. So 1, 2, and 3. I feel like they could have just not put it on this, but it's okay. Or just not put it on the back. But this is still gorgeous, dude. The thin side bezels look really good. We'll take off some of this plastic stuff later. Look at those internal machining on the internal weights there. Crazy to have all this inside and never see it again. Yeah, but at least they did a good job. Okay, so for everyone who's... I know there's going to be people who say that. But I do feel like they did a good job on the internals, like giving you some fun internals. And also a really great job on the externals as well. Like, even just having all this on the back looks gorgeous. And you can see even the acrylic or PC. And I don't know what material this is. Even having that gives it some extra dimension, some extra kind of feel, you know. It's cool. Like, I like this a lot. Okay, so these are plate-mounted stabs. Okay, here, never mind, I found it. PCB stabilizers for full size. So you get PCB stabs. I think this is maybe given to me in error because they also shipped these as well separately, like in a totally different box. So I think maybe for you guys will get PCB ones and not the plate mounted ones. Screwdriver, always a nice little addition to this. Then we have our gaskets, our feet, very, very nice. I think this might be polypropylene. So I actually don't know what this is. I think this is PP. Yeah, this looks like PP. Ooh, that's exciting. I think this is gonna be a fun combination with the milky yellows. And then we have our PCB, a bunch of foams. I mean, they opted for some of the cheaper foam in my opinion, but it's okay. Everything else seems like, yeah, the mid section foam here, the PCB foam, actually is pour-on, but this is like the cheapy stuff that I find absolutely does nothing, personally anyways. 220 is crazy for this. Oh, I do appreciate this, protecting the little switch. All right, here's the PCB. So we have some indicator LEDs for, I guess, the wireless portion of this. We have our pogo pin connector over here. And in case you guys are curious, the pogo pin connector might be hard to see right now, but it is kind of floating, which means we're not gonna have a hot spot there. And I would say we have a pretty wide variety of different options. Perhaps the only thing that seems to be locked into place is the bottom row. I don't know if there's gonna be any intention of that being changed in the future. The solderable unit has a whole bunch of options, but the hot swap is locked into this for people who pick, I guess, win keyless. And okay, I'm gonna probably guess and assume, I don't have confirmation on this, but I'm assuming they didn't flip the hot swap sockets over and give us more options because of the low front height. So I would make the assumption that they're avoiding doing that, which would make a lot of sense because I feel like this board would probably bottom out if this was flipped over. But yeah, lots of options. Fun PCB. Lots and lots of options here. Hot swap ISO, which is great. Very, very fun. All right, so let's get 8 stabs prepped. I feel like this is going to be the nicest of all the 100s that have come out in terms of just what's easy to digest visually. When I say that, you know, the Pangea, amazing looking. I do feel like it was a bit more out there and maybe wasn't everyone's cup of tea. The QK, not everyone's cup of tea. Like it doesn't actually have anything crazy going on to the point where you might have to do some different build on your desk or some different theme. Just should work in a lot of people's different setups. All right, I can already see one small problematic thing over here, and I will bring this up, but this is a byproduct of having ISO and stuff with hot swap sockets. See how close that screw hole is right over here to the hot swap socket? I'm a little worried this might short. Hopefully it doesn't short or anything. Look how close this screw is. Just so you guys can get a close-up look of how close the screw is to the socket. Should be fine though, but just as a little warning to people. If it does happen to trigger or something happens to short, you know the reasoning why. All right, I'm just gonna triple check all the stabs here. Everything looks good. I don't really know if I have to tune these up more, but I will tune them up afterwards. Good old milky yellows. The tried and true. Someone said Mars Cadet, and honestly, Mars Cadet's a pretty good suggestion. I was actually thinking of just using maybe modern materials. I think would be kind of fun with the orange. But you know what? I do think Mars Cadet's a really solid suggestion. Purple Knights. No, you know what? I refuse to do funny keycap colors. Because remember that one time I used retro, whatever it was, retro bright or retro vibe, whatever, on my green Kohaku, and then everyone got really mad at me. So I refuse to do funny things like that now. All right, in terms of where the mounting points are located, this is a relatively rigid mounting point, so there's not like a leaf gasket or anything like that. They're rather wide, so they did do a decent job of avoiding anything under the spacebar. Again, implementation does matter on how this works. However, when in my experience, when we have thicker gasket tabs like this that are, you know, very, very rigid being the word, you're never going to have the best sound experience or the best feeling with something underneath the spacebar. So nice that it's avoided there. All right, let's slip these guys on. Little gasket sleeves, which are nice. These are always fun to use. I get a ton of requests for keyboards very, very often. And one of the biggest, most frequent requests that I ever get is, can you build me a full-size keyboard? Now, full-size keyboards aren't uncommon. Like, you can still find them. However, either they're typically really marked up because, you know, they're a custom project that, you know, just costs a lot, or sometimes they look really bad. Like sometimes they just do not suit people's desk, and people have been asking for them. But I do think this will be excellent for those people who want a bit more toned down, you know? Also, yeah, I think this is also great for people who wanted a keyboard but didn't really want an 1800. They wanted a full-size boards. So this is also quite nice. Either cheaper or ugly, or the good full-size boards, or the good full-size boards are super expensive, which I understand. Yeah. Again, I'm here for this. I think this is quite nice. All right, so let's take the board apart, and then I don't know if these are extra parts. I know the feet are extra, but let's take this apart now. Can you build me a keyboard with a 15-degree typing angle and 5 kilos of brass? I'm not sure if I can. So this is using angled screws. So this is a hidden screw design with some angled screws in here. Might not be able to show you this until we unscrew it, but right there, actually I can show you guys. The orange makes it maybe a bit easier. Although and if someone's asking, well, we have removable feet, how come we didn't put screws in there? I do believe there's screws in here as well. I don't actually know what this supports. I don't know if this is a mixture of having to use, I'm not sure actually. I have never opened this up, nor did I watch any content on this, so. Ooh, look at those. I mean, it looks good even with the clear plastic piece over here, but ooh, it shines. Look at these weights shine. I wonder how the plastic will affect the sound profile, but look at these. Look how pretty this is. Yeah, the machining on these internal weights are really pretty. What's the weight of the weight? You want to know what each weight weighs? It's 342 grams. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not going to completely disassemble this. You're right. They're sitting right underneath these orange bits. I don't really want to tug at this too much because everything's kind of in there, but those are really thin batteries. I don't know if you guys can see those. Oh, this is nice. So this is a really good fun call out as well. Maybe a little bit difficult to show you guys, but there's actually foam, which is very similar to what QK's been doing on some of their boards. I think they've done it on maybe 1 or 2 of their boards as well. Foam on the bottom over here, so you don't actually damage anything, and it's kind of floating on this piece of foam as well as kind of propped up by the cable underneath it. Very nice. All right, so these go here, I believe. These are like a little alignment pegs. These will line up with little notches on the PCB, as you guys can kind of see here as well, which should help align some stuff. And another notch in the corner. But very nice, very nice. I don't know if I like the RGB on the orange unit, but that is clean RGB. That is like, and this is with the studio lights on. That is incredibly smooth. Look at that. Maybe from my angle, like right here, you can kind of see some hot spots, but if you just look at it dead on, like that is incredibly, incredibly smooth. So to round up the board, we have a $220 price point to start. You may get a little bit higher depending if you really want the extras or maybe a different plate. Maybe you really want the carbon fiber. But I think $220 will be just about everyone's price point for this. Past that, the board does a really good job of making the assembly fairly easy. I like the use of the pogo pin connector here. I think that works really, really nice. Man, this is nice. That low front height is looking great here. We did milky yellows. They're done with a 60-gram springs. They're filmed with Duroc films, not Deskies. And then I used 205 on them. And then we're using the polypropylene plate with all the gaskets installed, no foams. We're using that plastic sheet at the bottom. Again, I don't know if we're not supposed to use it, because I don't know if that actually prevents the keyboard from bottoming out or touching the bottom of the keyboard. Let's see what this sounds like. It is a little bit more resonant. Like the spacebar is definitely in your face, which I'm surprised about. But it does sound nice with the rest of the board. I'm going to try some different spacebars, but... I was also half expecting something a bit more flat, but this is very nice. All right. Actually, you know what? I would say this is like relatively the same. Maybe a bit more sharp. All right, so this time, no plastic window on the inside here. And I plugged it in. I'm gonna type some stuff here and see if it shorts, I guess. Okay, I don't think it's shorting at all, even with a lot of pressure, so I think we're good. All right, so let's see if this sounds any different at all, I guess. I think it does. I feel like it sounds a little bit less, bassier, like less bassy, more, I guess, aluminum, or like, I don't know the right word I'm looking for here. Definitely has a different higher resonance to it, which is, or higher frequency sound to it, which is a little bit nicer in my opinion. Yeah, maybe more open's a better word to use, Grunger. Yeah, for 220 bucks, the aesthetic of this, the ease of building, can't go wrong at all. All right, let's see what this looks like with the lights dimmed. Okay, I'm just gonna slowly dim it. Oh, well. So even with full brightness, like on my light, it doesn't look like it's super washed out at all. Here, let me prop it up with something to... So this will give you guys a better idea as well. It's pretty smooth. Like it's a really nice times out here, but saves battery, which is good. Like I would say that's a really nice graduation of color here, or graduated color rather. Keyboard looks very clean. Yeah, it's a very nice looking board. Again, I don't know what I like better, the plastic thing on the inside or not, but yeah, if you guys want this board, it's on 2 different websites. It's going to be on, what's it called there? Bull's website and ClickClack. Starts at $220. I think it's a pretty damn good deal. I like the way this sounds. Is it the absolute, like, most banger keyboard I've ever used? No, I definitely prefer some other sound signatures, but I think this is right up there. Like, it's in the 90% percentile thingy, whatever you want to say. It's right up there. It's pretty good sounding for what it is. All right, you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys, I think, tomorrow anyways. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Until then, love you guys and good night.